So I'm back with 10 questions that my community has asked me. And these are the 10 questions that my team have picked out from hundreds and hundreds of questions that have been sent. So I'm going to go into them in detail for you guys right now. Kick it off with question number 1. What inspired you to start flipping houses, and what do you think the biggest benefit of flipping houses is? So flipping houses is when you buy a property and you sell a property. Sometimes you don't even need to do any renovations or refurbs, because if you get it below market value, you can sell it at a profit. But flipping houses keeps your cash flow going up and up and up and up. And if you do it correctly, you can replace your income from your 9 till 5 or your job that you do in order to go into the industry full time. I'm a big fan of flipping houses when you start, because doing the BRRR strategy means that sometimes you will have to leave a certain amount of equity, certain amount of cash in the profit, which means that your money might deplete over time, but capital appreciation will be awesome on the BRRR. But for flipping, it keeps that cash coming in. Question number 2, can you walk us through your typical process for identifying a property with potential for flipping? So I get sent lots and lots of deals, and I will break down a property based on what the end value is, the GDV. So I will speak to valuation officers at estate agents. I will go on land registry to see what previous properties are sold for, price per square foot. I will take a look around, I will do my due diligence, and then I will make a decision. But identifying a property, you need as much help as you possibly can get and as much knowledge and education as you possibly can receive. So this is crucial. You have to make sure that you get the end value correct in order for you to make the profit that you want to make, not letting your heart rule your head and overestimating the end value. You need to be precise. You need to be as close as you possibly can, because so many people get the end values wrong, and then when it comes to selling the property, they either break even or sometimes they can lose money. What are the key factors you consider when deciding whether to flip a property or to keep the property and rent it out? So it's all about cash flow, it's all about profit against rental income and where you are in a certain position in life. So when you start out in property, I believe that you should flip. When you start to create more income through property, that's when I believe you can start going into the BRRR strategy to rent it out. But it's all down to personal circumstances. Are you trying to get more cash? Are you trying to get more passive income? Are you happy to leave a certain amount of money in certain properties? All these need to be answered in order for you to make a decision on whether you flip or whether you keep a property. How do you or property developers typically finance your property acquisitions and renovations? So there's many ways that you can finance properties. You can use your own cash, you can use other people's cash, you can use bridges, you can use buy-to-let mortgages, you can do different creative strategies, you can buy them and pay for them later on, not individual properties. You can do assisted sales basically. So when it comes to buying now, paying later, that's not a lease option agreement. This is an assisted sale where you can add the value, refinance and pull the money out to pay the original person back who owns the property. But multiple ways, you need to figure out which way is best for you. Most people who get to the top of this industry use other people's money, and most people who are super successful know how to use bridges and development finance to help them attain what they're trying to get to. So there's multiple ways, you need to know which way is best for you. So question 5, what are some common challenges you face during the renovation process and how do you overcome them? So the one that I've faced the most are contractors, builders. There are some exceptional builders out there in the UK, but there's some not so exceptional builders. And also, builders are human. So people have issues in life, people have illnesses, people have children where they need to use their time wisely. Delays. That is one of the most common problems I see everybody face in the property world. But if you can navigate this with stage payments, contracts, specification sheets and all this kind of stuff to safeguard you, you might be able to get through it with no issues, which is awesome. But if there are delays, you just have to figure out how to overcome them. Can you share a success story of a particularly profitable flip and what made it successful? So I bought a property for £250,000 which was at auction. With fees and solicitors' fees and stamp duty, it came in around 265. I spent around £150,000 on the renovation, coming in at just over 410, and I've had an offer on the market at £535,000, meaning there's about £120,000 profit in there. Now, when you lower the purchase price to the 100,000, 80,000, 120, you should always look at about a 10% profit. That's where you should be at. Set your expectations. There is money to be made, but you've got to make sure that you're not looking to double your money on every investment you make. What is the correct path to making your first million? Do you dream of having a business that turns over £1 million, or do you want £1 million in your bank account? I know which one I would rather have. There is a process, there is a strategy, and there are foundations that you have to build off to get to that £1 million. Come down to How to Make Your First Million, one of my best events that I do, and you can get the blueprint. Number 7, can you tell us about a project that didn't go as planned and the lessons that you learned from it? Yes, I definitely can. I had a project in Preston that overran by nearly 10 months, and the factors that went into play were planning was a pain, neighbours were a pain, the project had the wrong people running it, and it was problem after problem after problem. And how did I get through it? Well, I made sure that anybody that was involved in the project could see the delays. Anybody that was involved in the project still got a return that they was guaranteed. And when you have problems with projects, it's all about how you overcome them. So you have to have a calm head, you have to be emotionless, and you have to make sure that you hit it head on. Number 8, how do you stay up to date with market trends and ensure that your properties meet buyer or renter expectations? So social media, you can see what's going on in the world. Coming up with trends is by being with, well, not coming up with trends, keeping up with trends is by being in the room with people that are interior designers, people who sell properties on a daily basis like estate agents. It's so important to have these people in your network. So I know what colours are working, I know what people are expecting, I know what properties are up for rentals and they're in demand because I speak to the people who actually rent them out. So just having a network around you, having the right circle of people and just watching. There's a reason that social media is so popular. It's because people post so much stuff on there and it's so educational if you take the right information in. Number 9, what advice would you give to someone interested in starting out in property flipping? My advice to you would be get educated, get the knowledge, be around the right people, because let's break it down into a simpler way of explaining it. You needed to learn how to read, you needed to learn how to write, you needed to learn how to do the job you're doing today. The property world is exactly the same. You need to get knowledge and education, and you need to be taught by people who are genuinely doing what they say they are doing. It's a costly world. A mistake in this industry can cost you thousands, if not tens of thousands. So you need to make sure that your knowledge and your education is right here before you start investing yours or other people's money. Question number 10, explain the pros and cons of social media, because you are a big advocate for it. So the pros of social media are you can grow, you can connect with your audience, it can help you move forwards, it can open doors that you probably couldn't open on your own. The cons of social media is with all the applause and all the great things that you achieve, you also have to take all the negativity and all the criticism. So you have to have thick skin. You have to find a way to get through it, because not everybody likes everybody, which is good. Because if everybody likes everybody, then that person's not real. So take the good, take the bad, use it correctly, don't immerse yourself in it, don't consume, be somebody who puts content out. And to me, social media is one of the biggest green ticks that you could possibly do in your business.